So today's breaking news is the kind that doesn't shout, doesn't scream, doesn't clap back in all caps, and yet somehow sends shockwaves straight through the UK media ecosystem like a perfectly aimed emotional earthquake. Meghan has posted. Yes, that Meghan. On her own Instagram. No intermediaries, no palace filters, no royal rota permission slips. Just Meghan, her family, and a quiet holiday message that has already done more damage to certain narratives than 1,000 press releases ever could. Let's talk about this image, because it is not just a photo. Anyone calling it that is either being dishonest or is severely underqualified to analyze visual storytelling. What we're looking at is a carefully chosen, intentionally gentle moment. A family standing on a small wooden bridge surrounded by nature, trees arching overhead, light filtering through the leaves, water beneath them, growth all around. It's calm, it's intimate, it's real. Prince Harry is holding Archie, fully engaged, fully present, not performing masculinity, not posturing, not posing like he's auditioning for a stamp, just a father holding his child with care and familiarity. Meghan is leaning toward Lilibet, meeting her at eye level, hands clasped, focused entirely on her daughter. And right there in the center is Lilibet herself, grounded, steady, supported on both sides. That's not accidental framing. That is symbolism done quietly, the way it's always been done best. And let's be very clear about something before the usual suspects start hyperventilating into their keyboards. The children are visible, but not exposed. Their privacy is respected, their dignity intact. No front-facing exploitation, no demand for performance, no entitlement granted to strangers. This is how you show family without sacrificing children at the altar of public consumption. It's a concept that still seems to baffle certain institutions and commentators, but the Sussexes have mastered it. Then comes the caption, and honestly, this is where the brilliance lies. Happy holidays, from our family to yours. That's it. No essay, no manifesto, no addressing rumors, no correcting lies, no defensive tone. Just a universal greeting. Warm, inclusive, calm. And that calm is doing a lot of work. Because when you post something like this, you're not asking to be liked. You're not pleading for approval. You're not responding to critics. You are simply existing peacefully. And for people whose entire careers depend on Meghan being miserable, isolated, broken, or desperate for attention, this kind of content is absolutely devastating. This post quietly dismantles several narratives at once. The idea that Meghan is disconnected from the public, gone. The idea that Harry is adrift or unhappy, gone. The idea that the children are hidden or somehow absent from their parents' lives, obliterated. And it does all of that without mentioning the monarchy, without referencing the UK, without giving the tabloids a single quote to twist. This is soft power, and soft power terrifies loud, cruel people. Now let's talk about timing, because timing is everything. This post lands during the holiday season, when family imagery is already emotionally charged. It lands at a time when certain commentators have been recycling the same tired talking points about relevance and visibility. And it lands after months of relentless speculation, projection, and frankly, obsession with Meghan's every move. And Meghan responds not with noise, but with peace. That contrast matters. On one side, you have screaming headlines, aggressive commentary, panel shows built entirely on outrage. On the other side, you have a quiet bridge in the woods and a mother wishing people well. That contrast exposes the ugliness without Meghan ever having to name it. And here's the part that really stings for critics. This post isn't defensive. It's not reactive. It doesn't feel like a response to anything at all. It feels like a person who is content, settled, confident. And that's the one thing certain people cannot tolerate. Because if Meghan is happy, then what was all the cruelty for? If Meghan is thriving, then what were all those attacks meant to accomplish? If she's peaceful, grounded, and raising her children on her own terms, then suddenly the entire years-long smear campaign looks not only cruel, but pointless. This is why joy is resistance, real joy. Quiet joy, the kind that doesn't need validation, the kind that doesn't argue back, the kind that simply exists. And notice how Meghan didn't turn comments into a battleground. She didn't invite debate. She didn't offer explanations. She posted, wished people well, and kept it moving. That's confidence. That's emotional maturity. That's someone who understands that not everything requires a response, especially when your life is speaking louder than your critics ever could. Let's also address the Instagram factor because that matters too. This is Meghan controlling her own narrative on her own platform with no middleman. No tabloid rewriting her intentions, no anonymous sources, no headlines screaming what she meant or really feels. It's direct communication, and that alone is revolutionary in an ecosystem built on distortion. And the verified account, that's not just a badge, that's legitimacy, that's authority. That's Meghan saying, you don't need to hear about me through anyone else. You can hear from me. This one post has already done something extraordinary. It reminded people that Meghan is not a concept, not a controversy, not a headline. She's a human being with a family, traditions, warmth, and a life that continues regardless of who is angry about it. And let's be honest, some people are furious. You can feel it. You can sense the scrambling, the drafts being written, the angles being brainstormed. Is this calculated? Is this a strategy? Why now? Because peace doesn't compute for people addicted to chaos. But here's the truth they don't want to admit. If this were any other public figure posting a holiday family photo, it would be labeled wholesome, normal, sweet. But because it's Meghan, it becomes a problem. And that says everything about the critics and absolutely nothing about her. This post also subtly reinforces something important about the Sussex brand, whether people like that word or not. Show up, do good. That ethos isn't loud, it's lived. It's present in how they raise their children, how they move through the world, and how they choose what to share and what to protect. And protecting your children while still allowing warmth into the world, that's not secrecy, that's parenting. There's also something deeply symbolic about the bridge itself. A bridge represents transition, growth, movement from one place to another. And here we see a family firmly planted on that bridge, steady, balanced, moving forward together, not looking back, not reaching backward, just standing in the now. If that wasn't intentional, then it's a remarkable coincidence. But knowing Meghan, nothing about this feels accidental. So to the people who insist she's controlling the narrative like it's a bad thing, yes, she is. Because for years, others controlled it for her, and we all saw the results. Control over your own story isn't manipulation, it's survival, it's agency. And let's talk directly to the audience for a second, because if this photo made you smile, if it made you feel warmth, if it reminded you of your own family, your own holidays, your own moments of peace, that's the point. Meghan didn't post this for critics, she posted it for people living real lives. And that's why it's resonating. No amount of commentary can take that away. No spin can erase the visual truth of a family at ease with one another. No opinion piece can undo the emotional clarity of that image. So while certain voices will inevitably rush to dissect, diminish, or distort this moment, the rest of us can simply take it for what it is. A holiday greeting, a quiet assertion of happiness, a reminder that life goes on beautifully when you stop performing for people who never wanted to see you happy in the first place. And maybe that's the real message here. Not spoken, not written, just shown. From their family to yours. And with that, let the think pieces panic. Let the trolls spiral. Let the headlines scramble. Because peace just walked into the room, smiled politely, and didn't ask anyone's permission to exist. Thank you for watching and happy holidays. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you on the next video.